In ancient times, there was no archer on earth who could match the legendary warrior Arjuna. He possessed unmatched martial skills and commanded an arsenal of divine weapons that never missed their mark. But that supreme talent had bred a fatal psychological flaw. Because he had never been defeated, Arjuna possessed an absolute, blinding arrogance. He was thoroughly convinced he was superior to every other living being. One day, he found himself wandering through a dense forest near the ocean. Completely absorbed in his own vanity, he was practically searching for an audience to validate his greatness. It is a quiet truth of human nature. When world-class skill is completely isolated from humility, it stops being a strength and transforms into a dangerous vulnerability. Down by the crashing waves, Arjuna encountered a seemingly unremarkable, frail old monkey sitting quietly on a rock. Without being asked, Arjuna began to boast.
He claimed that the legendary Lord Rama was actually foolish to have built a massive stone bridge to reach Lanka. If Arjuna had been there, he declared, he could have constructed a far superior bridge purely out of arrows. The old monkey offered a calm, almost mocking counterargument. A bridge made of arrows, he noted, would be so structurally weak it would snap under the weight of just one frail old monkey. Offended, arrogant, Arjuna was deeply insulted. He immediately accepted the challenge, declaring he would construct an indestructible bridge right then and there. Driven purely by a fragile ego, a master warrior had just trapped himself into a high-stakes structural challenge against a seemingly insignificant opponent. Arjuna drew his bow and fired. He quickly physically constructed the first bridge using his divine arrows, locking them together over the water. His entire mindset was fueled by a desperate need to prove his superiority. The old monkey slowly stood up, approached the structure, and placed a single foot onto the newly formed arrow pathway. The moment the weight was applied, the structure suffered an immediate and catastrophic physical failure. It vibrated violently, shattered into hundreds of pieces, and instantly collapsed into the dark ocean waves below. Arjuna was psychologically devastated. He stood in absolute shock, burning with intense embarrassment as his entire sense of pride shattered right alongside his bridge. The arrows themselves were of the highest quality, but this first bridge structurally failed because it was built on a brittle, inflexible foundation of arrogance. The old monkey looked at the devastated archer and offered a simple observation. Real, lasting power only takes hold when a warrior finally discards their pride. Arjuna listened. He accepted the shame of his failure, actively stripped away his massive ego, and bowed his head in genuine understanding. This animated structural diagram shows exactly what happened next. In Test A, the rigid line representing Arjuna's pride snaps under a small downward force. But for Test B, Arjuna approached the water again and prayed with deep devotion, altering his mindset entirely before firing his bow. Looking closer, Krishna's divine power secretly underpins the physical arrows, creating a force field that distributes the extreme weight evenly. Then came the extreme stress test. The monkey stepped onto the new bridge and jumped up and down. He then physically expanded to the immense size of a mountain, applying unbelievable pressure, but the bridge held absolutely firm. Arjuna used the exact same physical tools, the exact same arrows, yet they created an entirely unbreakable structure, simply because the architect's mindset had shifted from pride to humility. Recognizing the divine intervention and Arjuna's transformation, the monkey finally dropped his disguise. He revealed his true identity as the mighty deity, Lord Hanuman. Arjuna folded his hands in absolute reverence. Standing before true greatness,
his former arrogance was completely erased. Hanuman then offered a reward to the archer for passing this deep psychological test. He promised to ride on Arjuna's chariot flag and personally protect him during the apocalyptic Kurukshetra war to come. By surviving a deeply humiliating test of his own character, Arjuna secured an invincible protector for the greatest physical conflict of his life. Our individual talents, professional skills, and intelligence are essentially the arrows we use to build our lives. When those tools are deployed with a foundation of pure arrogance, they become dangerously brittle. Eventually, they will inevitably shatter under real-world pressure. Raw skill is essential, but it only transforms into truly unbreakable strength when it is paired with the quiet power of humility.